Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Simply Rue Lifestyle Vlogs. So today I'm back again with another informative video, and it's in response to a friend of mine who asked me a question. So I hope it doesn't offend you. This is honestly just my two-piece and my experience, and I'm sharing it with you guys because I think it'll be helpful. And if you're going through what I went through, then you can relate. So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi and welcome. Please hit the like and subscribe button. So before I start this video, I'm going to read a scripture, and the scripture today is going to be from Philippians 4 verse 13, and it says, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Okay. The question goes like, she asked me, and she's saying, how do you continue to hold on to your faith in a nation like this as a child, and what are your experiences at school? What were my experiences at school? Because I finished high school in 2017. I'm going to section this video into 3 aspects of what helped me through high school, and those things I'm going to talk about is my experience with God, first and foremost, my respect and integrity, and then I'm going to just at the end talk to the parents and what you can do, help them help themselves pretty much. So I gave my life to God when I think it was between the age of 12 and 14, so I was really young. Australia, we start high school when you're around, when you get into teenagers, so around the 13 years old, depends with your age, you can start at 12, I think. But yeah, around the 13 age. So I really got saved just at the start of high school, which was a good thing because high school is such a whirlwind. And when I think she's mentioning about nation, I think she's talking about Australia and just being, I guess, outside of your cultural country. So that's how I interpreted that. And so when I gave my life to God, it was such an experience that was individual, and it has to be individual. And it was something that really, I think, grounded me in my faith, grounded me in my life, and that's what took me through. That's what keeps me through. Even now, you know it's true. So the second thing I want to talk about is respect. And I believe in life, as well as a child, I guess you have to have respect of something. Okay, whether it being certain people in your life, whether it being a certain position, whatever, you have to have that certain respect. And the respect I'm talking about is respect by choice. No respect of position, but respect by choice. So for me, there's a handful of people I respect by choice. And the first and foremost person I respect is God. And then followed obviously by my parents, and then a few individuals down below, and the list stops there. But yeah, this so I reckon that you need to have respect, and when you have respect, it's not fear. This is not, it's different. We're not talking about fear, we're talking about respect. You need to, I guess, know what the standards are, have standards for yourself, and respect the standards which are put in by people you respect. You have to have that respect of hierarchy. So when I put God first, because if my parents' example go against God, then I'm going to bypass them and go to God. If anything, honestly, go against God, then I'm going to bypass them to go to God. So therefore, that hierarchy is important because, you know, you now sort of put things into perspective of importance. The next thing I want to talk about is integrity. So I'm going to tie in integrity with influence at the moment, so I'm just going to drift off. In high school and generally in life, you have to be an influencer, because if you're not an influencer, you're going to be influenced. That's just simple. And you now need to surround yourself, obviously, with people that influence you to do the right thing. And for me, generally, I had a strong character, and I surrounded myself with people are like-minded, so therefore we shared the same sort of morals and principles. Them also coming from maybe an ethnic background, it helped because we knew, like, okay, in our cultures, when parents say no, it's a no. When it's get home by 6, it's 6, right? And being obviously the last one child, I tried to push it, I think, more than my siblings, but I still knew that no, a no is a no, because there would be repercussions. My mom was very strong-willed in the sense that she would not move. Her no's were a no, and you could see it's a no, and she would give you an eye when it's a no. Sometimes you didn't even have to say it's a no. You know yourself, it's a no. Okay, and that helped me because I think sometimes when you're a child, you try to push your parents, right? So if you have that sort of structure that a no is a no, it keeps you sort of balanced and focused. because then you're not going to try to push those boundaries, and you're not going to, because you know there are repercussions on it. And definitely one thing my mom would say is, if you don't like the rules of this house, you can leave. And you know, as a 17-year-old, you don't have money. Your job pays you $300 a week, and I used to live in Sydney, okay? So rent at minimum is $500. So I don't have that sort of money, so I'm gonna stay myself in the house and do what she says and go to my room if I'm gonna have a sulk about it. So that's something she used to tell me. If you don't like it, you can leave anytime. You can go, and you know you're not gonna leave. So you stuck around, right? You stuck around. I do understand sometimes that being yourself can be hard, because for me, example, I used to avoid what we used to call mufti days or free dresses, where you pretty much go to school wearing whatever clothes you want to wear, because my clothes were usually skirts or something covering, so it would be definitely something weird because you have children in school also wearing, like, you know, the latest fashion or something a bit revealing, and you know you can't do that. So I used to avoid mufti days. So I used to just take a day off and not go to school. But I think I learned after that, I was like, you know what, people have different styles. You have someone who's wearing this and that, and I'm just gonna be someone who's wearing something different, and judge me or not, you're not gonna do anything about it. And I don't necessarily care, because I'm still going to school, I'm still doing what I do. And if you have really good friends, they will respect that. And whatever your fashion sense, when you get out of high school, I think that you realize that no one cares. Like, it's so true. No one cares about what you do. And those people that you're saying, oh, they're gonna look at me out of high school, you guys will disperse into your own lives. Some of them you won't even see straight after high school until God knows when. So it doesn't really matter. It's just that person you're seeing for that temporary moment. And at the end of the day, it's just their opinion. That's it. It's an opinion. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. And people are entitled to their opinion, and so am I. So if I think wearing a skirt is what I want to do and is right, then that's that. Settled. The last thing I have to say is actually addressing the parents. So if you're a parent, please listen up. Whether your child is still a baby, or your child is grown, or your child is a teenager going through the most right now, please do listen up. And I am no means a parent, so I have no experience in this field, but what I'm just talking about is my experience, I guess, from my parents, and what I think helped me out that they did. So the first thing, they definitely ensured that there were times that we were together as a family, whether there were prayer times, whether there were dinner times, whether it was our, you know, weekly Saturday activity, going to squash or tennis or whatever. It definitely helped us keep us together, keep us grounded, and just put a little fun to your home. You really need that, because if your home is not fun, and if your home is not a home, we're gonna find somewhere where we feel at home, you know what I mean? And it's better to feel at home with your parents, with your family, where you can ensure that you're installing, I guess, the right morals, the right principles in your child, rather than out there with a friend that might not even have the best interest at heart for your child. And the other thing I want us to talk about is just generally praying for your children. It is so vital that you pray for your children. Even if you might not know what they're going through, you need to pray for your children, because the devil is out there to get them, to get anyone actually. So you really need to fight your battles sometimes on your knees, because sometimes fighting with your children, you're not getting through. So you need to be like, okay, God, you need to help me. And a little piece of advice I have for parents is that I had a realization the other day actually, and I think it's quite true, that the child you have is not your child, it's God's child, and God gave you that child. God blessed you with that child, because I believe that He believes you have the skill set adequate enough to raise that child in the likeness of Him. So sometimes the things you would have gone through as a parent, or traumatic or not, or even the skill set or the character that you have, they're equipped directly to be adapted to your child. So I feel like the person you are definitely can help your child today, tomorrow, or the next day. So sometimes when you withhold those experiences, or when you come off with a side that's just parent strict, don't talk to me about personal stuff, you're sort of doing a disfavor, because you never know that that experience you might have had previously, or the person you are, it's gonna help your child one day if you just open up and be like, oh look, hey, I understand that you're going through this, I also went through this. And I feel like sometimes parents, they come off with a strict vibe because they might have done just a bit worse than what their child is doing. But it's not that. It's honestly, someone came up to me and be like, oh, do you know a snake bites? I'm not out there to try and find out if a snake really bites and it hurts. No, if you tell me a snake bites and there's a snake in your backyard, I'm gonna be watchful of that. So that's the sort of approach that hopefully parents can have, that, okay, come to your child and just being open and vulnerable. Look, I'm also human. I went through this, I did this, and I advise to not do this because it leads you to this, because I went through it and I don't want you to go through it. Can definitely help, because I honestly would love it if parents or people were just open and vulnerable, because it just helps me know that you relate to me, and there's nothing better than someone who knows what you're going through. There's nothing better than that. So please do let your children in and be open and vulnerable, because that's what they need sometimes. They just need someone who's honest, there's someone who's relatable, and someone who understands them. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much how I got through high school, and I hope this video helped you. If you're still watching, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and don't forget to comment on your opinion of how you went through high school, or even if you have any questions you want to ask me, please don't forget to comment down below, and I'll see you next time.